Welcome to Trade Pro. In this video, I'm going to test a Vwap 600 period EMA and Williams Alligator trading strategy 100 times in a row so you can see how it performs over a series of trades. But first, make sure you like the video, comment down below, I like trade, and subscribe if you haven't. Check out the Webull link also if you want 2 free stocks valued up to $1,850. You can literally get the free stocks after you deposit $100 and then sell them and take the money. You don't need to keep using Webull if you don't want to. So why not get some free stocks? If you've never used Webull, use my link down below and you can get 2 free stocks with quite a high value potential. Now, let's get into the video. Let's get into the strategy here. All right, before I get into the strategy, one funny thing that just happened on my channel, I got a copyright strike and a video removed, and it was the fitness scams and trading industry scams video that was kind of a comedy. It was just funny and fun to make. But apparently having a picture of Warrior Trading in the video was enough for him to copyright strike the video. I actually didn't even mention his name or say anything about him. I just used a picture of him in the video, no video or anything, and I just thought it was a funny picture, so I threw it in the video, and essentially he copyright striked the video and got the video taken down. So I didn't know it was copyright strikeable just having a picture of someone in a video. So I guess I learned that lesson, but I just thought that was kind of funny. Anyway, let's get into the strategy here. So we have 3 indicators. First, we have a 600 period EMA, and one thing you need to note is that it is a 5-minute time frame 600 period EMA, which is the same thing as a 1 hour 50 period EMA. Okay, so indicator time frame is switched to 5 minutes, length 600. Okay, and then we have the Vwap. It's just standard Vwap, and it has default settings. And then we have a Williams Alligator, and these have default settings as well. Okay. So first of all, we have our trend direction indicator, which is the 600 period EMA. So if price is above, we're only looking for longs. If price is below, we're only looking for shorts. And then the Vwap, we're waiting for a pullback to the Vwap. That's our first trigger. So we have trend direction, which is up right now. Everything's above the 600 period EMA. We wait for a pullback to the Vwap. And the next thing we're looking for is a close above the middle line of that Williams Alligator. Okay, so our entry candle will be right here, and you can only take these entries after a pullback to the Vwap and the green line on the Williams Alligator needs to be below both the blue and red, and the pink or red needs to be below the blue when this occurs. Okay, so this is our entry setup. Stop goes below the lowest point before that cross up, and then we target 2 times risk. So this is what I'm going to be testing. Looks like this one ends up being good. Let's go to another setup here. So we have to wait. Remember, we wait for the pullback into the Vwap, and we make sure that green and red lines are below the blue on the Williams Alligator. Then the cross up of that middle line is our entry when it closes. So here's our entry candle. Stop loss goes just below the swing low, lowest point before the entry, and then targeting 2 times the risk. Okay, so it's really that simple. This is the strategy I'm going to be testing. So one thing to keep in mind with this test is I'm not going to be counting signals that occur while a trade is still running. So this was the first signal that happened here. We're going left to right. So I'm not taking any of the signals that happen in this range here, just because this position doesn't close till all the way over here. In reality, you wouldn't be entering anything in between here until all the way over here when the position closes. Okay, so that's how I'm going to be doing the test. So let's look at another example here. So this one gets profit target hit, then we get another pullback into the Vwap, still in an uptrend, so we just wait for another close above that middle line, and we get the pullback right here. We get the first close above. Looks like not sure that closes. Actually, yeah, that does. So right below the lowest point here, targeting 2 times the risk. Okay, so that's the strategy. Really simple, just waiting for pullbacks into the Vwap, going with the trend direction, and then waiting for that close above that middle line of the Williams Alligator to give us an entry. And keep in mind the green the green needs to cross down below the blue and the pink needs to be below the blue on the Williams Alligator before you can actually take any entry. Okay, got it. So let's look at another one here. You know, one thing I noticed while going through and testing is, you know, when we get the daily close, it suddenly spikes up towards price and resets the VWAP value. So we get a lot of signals around these areas that are false signals. So in the test, I counted these as losses when we get losses like this. But obviously you could optimize and not take signals that happen right after we get this sort of action at the open. So let's see, we get instantly, it's pulled straight back to the VWAP. So we have to wait till the green and the red are below the blue. And on this one, we actually don't get an entry signal yet. Green needs to be, okay, looks like right here. No, it doesn't quite close above. Here, definitely. This would be an entry signal and a loss here. Right down here, so we have to wait till the next one. Here's another entry signal. That one's a loss. And then we get another entry signal right here, and this one is clearly a winner. So I noticed a lot of the time when you get this sort of action where it just spikes up at the new open, that we'll get a few false signals around those areas. So maybe just stay away from those areas. But for this test, I did include all losses taken, like those ones that I just went over. Okay, just want to be clear about that. All right, so yeah, that's it. Let's get into the 100 tests. All right, the results are in after the 100 trade test, and keep in mind this was not counting every signal. This was counting every trade from left to right. So what I mean by that is if a trade is currently running and the stop loss or take profit has not been hit yet, I'm not counting signals that occur while that trade is still running and not yet closed out. Okay, so the time for 100 trades on this test is going to be inflated and higher than if you were to count every single signal that occurs. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. But anyway, this did well. There were price data used on Eurodollar and pound dollar. So 75 trades on Eurodollar, 25 on pound dollar, just because I ran out of price data on Eurodollar. This used a 1-to-2 risk reward ratio. The time frame was 3 minutes, and the time for the 100 trades was 40 days, probably closer to 20 if you're just counting every single signal. Now, there were 49 winners and 51 losses. The most wins in a row was 6, and the most losses in a row was 5. The gain on the account was 47%. So this did really well. Puts it up there with the top tier strategies. A couple of things I just want to go over about it. Some of the things I noticed. So I just have an example here of kind of what happens a lot of the time. So as you can see, we get a pullback and a downtrend above the Vwap. And we get that first close below the middle line of the Williams Alligator. So we get an entry here. Stop loss just goes above the swing high here, and then we target 2 times risk. But this one gets stopped out right here. Then you get another entry right here. This tends to happen quite often where you get an entry and then another little swing up that takes out the high. So these are counted as losses in this test. So maybe you could work out something where you're only taking the second peak or using a little buffer. Just like here where we get a pullback into the VWAP and then we get a close below right here. So you could take a short, but you get stopped out. right before price goes in your favor. So maybe if you go over here and do a different method of stop loss, something like this over here, then you're going to be safe. But yeah, just make sure you guys are testing and optimizing. I tested it in, just strict rules with a stop loss directly above each swing high. So a lot of them would not have been stopped out in reality if you optimize the system. But good thing we had the Vwap there, because you get a ton of terrible signals with the Williams Alligator alone. See, crosses down here, crosses down here. I guess that one's not that bad. But, just tons of crosses down on the Williams Alligator that are not that great. I think this one was good after the pullback into the Vwap. Yeah, looks all right. But anyway, definitely good to have the Vwap there for avoiding a lot of the false signals that do occur with just the Williams Alligator alone. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm going to put this on the spreadsheet, see how it stacks up. I already know it's pretty up there on the list. Definitely did pretty well. All right, here it is on the spreadsheet, falling at spot number 7, tying with 8 and 9 with a 47% gain on the account. So did really well, considering I've tested 55 strategies now on the spreadsheet, and it falls this high. It's definitely worth taking a look at and trying to optimize potentially. So hopefully this spreadsheet in general is a good dose of reality for a lot of people out there who may be a little bit deceived by the trading industry. A lot of people out there claiming crazy win rates and strategies that are completely just ridiculously overhyped. So as with my very worst strategy, the person claimed it was some like amazing godly strategy, but turns out it's the worst one I've ever tested. So just be careful out there, guys. Don't get deceived. It's not as easy as people are trying to make it sound when they act like they have a strategy with 75% win rate and a 1-to-3 risk reward ratio. It's just not true. They're lying, or they're stupid, or they haven't tested it. They might just be ignorant themselves, and maybe they tested it 10 times and thought that was enough. I don't want to say that they're purposely trying to scam you just based on that, but maybe they're just dumb, maybe they're ignorant. I don't know. But anyway, be careful out there. Make sure you do your optimizing and your own testing. If you're not willing to do those things to make a strategy better, then you will certainly fail. I can guarantee you that. You're definitely never going to be profitable trading if you're not willing to put in any work to improve a strategy and optimize it for yourself. Just what it takes. This is probably, trading in general is probably one of the hardest things you will ever do trying to be successful trading. So if you're not willing to put in more work than I am, then, or at least as much work as I am, then you're probably not going to make it. Sorry. It's just the truth. Okay. So you better be willing to put in the work. And, I can tell on Patreon, the people who message me, some of them, I can tell they're going to make it because they are on it. They're putting in the work. Okay. And then there's some where I can just tell it's like, I don't want to be mean to them, but it would probably be nice of me to tell them, hey, this isn't for you. You're never going to be successful with that mindset or the way that you're doing it. So that's just the truth. Unfortunately, it's not meant for most people. Okay. You're probably never going to be successful trading unless it is a huge passion of yours and you want to spend countless hours working on it. Okay? So stop being deceived by people saying it's easy. It's not. It's the biggest challenge you'll ever face. But yeah, let's get on to the end of the video. Thanks for watching. Make sure that you like the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and don't forget to check out that Webull link if you want some free stocks. Why not get some free stocks valued up to $1,850? 2 free stocks. So you can literally sign up for Webull, get the free stocks, cash them out. It takes a little bit of processing time in between, but if you can just cash them out, take the money, and withdraw it back to your bank account. You don't actually need to use Webull. Someone said you can only do it if you're a U.S. resident. I'm not sure. They said they lived in the U.K. and it didn't work for them. So just be careful about that. Maybe look it up first. But yeah, Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching and listening to my ramble. If you made it this far, have a nice day.